Over the last few weeks, we opened papers GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, Essay, and General English. We discussed previous year's questions from 2013 to 2025 from all these subjects with in-depth analysis. Across all of them, we kept asking one question, that is, what is UPSC actually rewarding? Till now, we studied patterns across all subjects. We studied previous year questions thoroughly and in depth. We studied evaluator signals and we studied UPSC fingerprints. But now that phase is complete because understanding the paper is not the same as performing in the paper. So from today onwards, we begin a new series, that is answer writing and execution for UPSC mains 2026. This series is not about analyzing questions, it is about performing under exam conditions. So, understanding demands, making decisions, managing time, and executing under constraints, and converting preparation into marks. So, we begin with the first question, that is, what actually gets marks in UPSC mains? So, most students believe marks come from studying more. They study more, write more, revise more, and eventually marks appear. That is not how UPSC mains works, because every year students study same material, similar sources, and still the marks come out separately. Why? Preparation alone does not explain the difference. There is another layer called, that is, execution. Preparation creates a possibility, but execution converts the possibility into marks. And that is what this series is about. Not writing more, not collecting techniques, not decorating answers. Only one question: what actually produces marks in UPSC mains? By the end of this series, we open real papers and execute live. So, but it begins here. But it begins here. This series is not about writing more, collecting techniques, or decorating answers. Only one question: what actually produces marks? So, we are moving to the layer number one, that is what UPSC is actually evaluating in UPSC mains with respect of writing answers. When students think of evaluation, they imagine knowledge only. That picture is incomplete because knowledge is not incomplete. Knowledge is not alone sufficient to give, produce, and convert good marks. The evaluator is not checking how much do you know, but the evaluator is asking, did the student understand the question? Did the student select relevant content? Did, did the student organize ideas? Did this student execute under constraints? Did this student communicate clearly? So the marks pathways becomes question, then understanding, then selection, then organization, and then execution, communication, and finally comes to the marks. If one of these stages weakens, performance weakens with it. So what you have to do is, after reading the question, you have to understand the question. Then you have to selecting the ideas and what to and what have to write to the demand of the question, and organize your ideas into orderly fashion, and then execution with good introduction, body, and conclusion, meaningful conclusion. Then it will be communicate to evaluator, and then these knowledge and these execution, these organization, these communication, these organization finally communicate and convert into marks. if in the if in the particular process, entire process, if one stage weakens, performance usually weakens too. So you have to be very careful at each and every particular stage in the total answer writing structure. So UPSC repeatedly asks whether you understand, where you selected, organized, executed, and communicated. So this is the way to you get good marks in the UPSC mains examination. This is the layer number 1. We are moving to layer number 2, that is what does not create marks. What is the obstacles for not getting good marks? So now let us remove some myths, because students optimize visible things instead of scoring variables. So we are going to demystify the myths in the in this session. So what is the myth number 1? More pages, more pages. A longer answer is not a higher answer. The evaluator counts what was solved, not what was filled. So students may feel like this: if you fill the more pages, you will get good amount of marks. But it is not correct, because evaluator counts what was solved and what was the demand of the question, what was resolved in the performance, not what was filled in the papers. So more pages is myth number 1. So myth number 2, that is more content. Content scores only when it answers the demand. Everything else weight, not value. So if if you fulfill the demand of the question, that much content is enough, rather than unnecessary you fill the papers with your accumulated content. So content scores only when it answers the demand. Everything else weight, not value. It not converted into value, just weight. So don't be into more content loop. And myth number 3, that is more underlining. Presentation cannot rescue a weak decision. A neat wrong answer is still wrong, because here content, demand of the question is important. And one more thing, your writing should be readable. That is important. You are not here to fancy dress competition. So because presentation cannot rescue a weak decision, so your answer should be readable. That is most important thing. Myth number 4, that is more diagrams. Here diagrams are tools, not marks. Diagrams can increase value. They do not automatically create value. So unnecessarily infiltrate more number of diagrams will get not good marks. They converted into awkward situation. So more diagrams is not going to get more marks. So myth number 5 is difficult language. UPSC does not reward literary performance. Good answers are simpler than students expect. So if these things do not create marks, then what does? Then what does? So what actually do create, actually does create marks? This is the layer number 3. Marks are produced by 8 variables. 1. Demand satisfaction. Second, relevance. Third, structure. Fourth, analysis. Fifth, completion. Sixth, clarity. Seventh, enrichment. And eighth, time discipline. Comes to the demand satisfaction, that is first thing. In the demand satisfaction, did the answer solve the question? This is most important thing, because every evaluator, first of all, he understand and he see demand satisfaction of the particular question in your answer. Unnecessary accumulation, there is no need of here, and that does not give good marks. And number 2, that is relevance. Did unnecessary information stay outside? Yes. Did it unnecessary information is not value, it get into overweight. So relevance of the content is only suffice rather than unnecessary accumulation. Then third one, structure. But evaluation easy? Structure is the need of the hour. Comes to fourth one, analysis. Did the answer move beyond listing? You have to match the question with your answer analysis. All the time you have to focus which were asked in the question. You have to match that answer with the analysis only given in the question, rather than unnecessary writing. Fifth one, completion. A completed good answer beats incomplete excellent answer. So you have to do with complete good answer with minimum introduction, body, and conclusion with what is asking as far as demand of the question. The sixth one is clarity. Could the evaluator move smoothly? When the evaluator is looking your paper, looking your answer, he is moving from introduction to conclusion smoothly, move smoothly. This is the clarity. And seventh one, enrichment. For the enrichment of answer, you have to use data, examples, maps, diagrams. Only when useful, only when useful, rather than awkward infiltration. So eighth one, time discipline. Because unanswered marks cannot score. Notice something. Many of these variables sit between knowledge and marks. That middle layer is called as execution. What actually create marks here is 8 scoring variables from demand satisfaction to time discipline. So we are moving to next layer, that is one quick look. Let us make this concrete. Let us make this concrete. Take a question that asks like critically examine. Let the question like this, critically examine. We will take two answers. Answer A writes everything it knows about the topic. That long, full, confident. But answer B notices what the question is actually asking. For that, it examines both sides, then takes a reasoned position. Answer A knew more, but answer B answered the demand of the question. In mains, the second one scores higher, B scores higher. Why? This is the whole series is in one example. Because answer B reads the directive, examine critically, builds both sides, then take a position, then answer the demand. So don't copy answers, study scoring patterns. We will do this slowly with real answers in the episodes ahead. So, not beautiful answers, not long answers, not complicated answers. One thing only, answer the demand. Demand the answer the demand of the question only. Finish the paper, score the marks. UPSC don't reward beautiful answers, long answers, and complicated answers. Simple, structural, clarity, relevant answers only UPSC rewarded. So complete the answer, right, right for right demand of the answer, demand of the questions, you have to write that particular answer. Finish the paper, score the marks. Next one, understanding questions, because students interpret a question before they ever answer it, and that changes everything. We will meet into the next master class, that is understanding questions. This is all about what marks can get into the UPSC CSE mains examination.